Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, the 6 types of people you need in your network.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
We all know that old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And you know, Mary-Lynn, I've determined that's a really good thing because I know nothing.
But who do you know?
That's the key question.
And how many people do you need to know?
And does the size of your network matter? What types of people need to be in your network? I didn't even realize that we needed to think about this.
Right. Well, we're going to talk about that in today's show.
Hi, I'm George Kruger, a.k.a. The Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. Yeah, entrepreneurs do a great job of leveraging their resources. And your network is a big resource. And that is big with 2G.
That's where you're going to find your customers, your employees, your mentors, your brand advocates, and so much more.
And while social media networks like LinkedIn allow us to grow our networks faster than ever, new research shows that having a large network may not be the way to go. To build a strong network, who do you need to connect with? Rob Cross of UVA's McIntyre School of Commerce and Robert Thomas, the Accenture Institute for High Performance, wrote a book about leveraging networks.
And they found that the happiest and highest performing executives had close connections with a small but diverse group of people who held a wide variety of roles along the corporate ladder.
So small but diverse, not large, and I don't even know who half these people are.
Yes. Well, and I think that these people have specific characteristics, and I found this interesting, Mary-Lynn, because being a teacher of entrepreneurial finance, and with finance, we always think of diversification.
Right.
It's kind of fascinating to see that we need to be thinking about diversification even when forming our networks.
Right. That diversification in other areas of our lives,
Exactly.
Not just in finance. So let's talk about those 6 types of people that you need in your network. But first, we've got to pull out the professor's whiteboard to get to that list.
Oh, I need a closet organizer in my network.
Stat.
Yes. Do you think I can find one? Calling all people in my network.
All right. Well, what we're doing here for the show is a summary of this book about your network. And we've got a link if you want to read it all with your show notes. So the 6 types of people that you need in your network. Number 1, collaborators. So people who provide information, ideas, or expertise.
Now, this includes internal and external clients, people who increase your market awareness, peers in other functions, divisions, or locations who share best practices, and contacts in other industries who inspire innovation.
Right. So this doesn't have to just be somebody that's in your network, in your industry. In fact, it seems like it's best if it's somebody outside.
Absolutely. Sometimes there's a huge outsider's advantage. We've talked about that on the show before, and that can be the case here as well. Getting that outsider's perspective,
right,
really helps us get out of the box.
Now, when I think about the person who fits this role in our network,
one of the people, yeah,
right, one of the people, and it's interesting because I connected with this person back in my radio career.
Yep.
But to a degree, he's an outsider because he still works with radio, and we've entered into the entrepreneurial space with our podcast and building our own brand. But yet, what he knows from all of those years in radio is so relevant to what we're doing today and has helped us build our brand over the years. And that's our coach, Kipper McGee.
Yeah, and Kipper's actually kind of metamorphosed from the radio only kind of point of view to sort of the whole digital and traditional landscape out there, and how does it all come together? And we've learned so much from him. He continually challenges us, and he's just a big thinker, and that is definitely big with 2 G's.
Oh my God. All right, the 6 type of people you need in your network. Number 2, influencers. So people who are powerful, who offer mentoring and political support.
These are people who offer influence, they help you coordinate projects, and they support you among the rank and file.
And, when it says that political support, that doesn't necessarily mean that, they ask you to run for office politics or anything. But
heavens, let's just hope that's the case.
But they are people who are powerful in the sense of their network and their influence within that network. So they are they have that political power to be able to say, hey, this is a person you should meet. And that person will take the call. Or
in our case, the example that we're given is it's a person who connected you with a group of people.
Right. Lori Patterson.
Entrepreneur extraordinaire.
Oh, my goodness. Incredibly successful entrepreneur. She's just one of those people that you just go, wow, how can one person do so much and know so many people? But she encouraged me several years ago to join a group that actually brings together, it's a professional group of women that brings together women from across the state of Illinois who are leaders in various industries and professions. And so because of Lori's persuasion, I joined the organization, and it has been a wonderful experience. And I've made some incredible relationships and built my network. So I'm indebted to her for that.
I didn't know Lori could twist an arm so hard, but she got you.
She did. All right. So the third type of person that you need in your network, responders. So these are people who give feedback.
Yeah, and they help you by challenging what you're saying. You're challenging your decisions.
Right. They don't just listen and go, oh, that's a great idea.
Right.
But they really do give some critical.
They care enough to give you constructive criticism, and they push you to be better. At an earlier stage in your career, you may get this from a boss, and then later on, and when you get your own business, it may come from customers. But it tends to come from coaches, trusted colleagues, even a spouse, Mary-Lynn.
Oh, I've got constructive criticism, all right.
Yes, maybe a little too much. Right. Maybe it's not so constructive as you think. But we digress, Mary-Lynn.
Yes.
So the one person that we think of who does this in our life is Dennis Spice. And Dennis is just this big, and once again, big with two G's, big thinker. And we're fortunate enough that, we get to have coffee with Dennis every now and then.
Yeah.
And we share with him what we're doing. He shares with us what he's doing. But, just his feedback is just so phenomenal. And it has been so helpful to us over the years.
Yeah. And he's been wonderful and has connected us with some amazing people. The sixth type of people you need in your network. Number 4, supporters. This is pretty self-explanatory. People who give you support.
Not athletic supporters.
No, not that
That's
kind.
a whole different story.
Right.
But supporters, we're talking about colleagues who help you get back on track when maybe you're having a bad day or something like that, or friends with who you can just kick back and just relax and just be your true self. When we think about this, there's so many names that came to mind as we were talking about this, Mary-Lynn.
Which is a testament to how blessed we are.
Exactly. And we've got amazing friends, amazing family. And I guess I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless because we can't thank them enough.
Right. And sometimes it's hard to reach out for help, but what's great about having such a wonderful network like we do, as far as friends and family go, is that, there's some people you go to for moral support. There's some people you go to just to laugh. Sometimes you just need to laugh. And so anyway, that's what you need your friends and family for. You really do need support, especially when you have an entrepreneur mindset. The 6 types of people that you need in your network. Number 5, believers. These are people who, not only believe in what you're doing, but they help increase your sense of purpose or worth.
Yeah, and we're talking about bosses and customers who validate your work, family members and other stakeholders who show your work has a broader meaning. You're starting to notice that we've got repetition going here, right? So, a boss may fit several categories, a coach may fit several categories,
right.
Our friends fit several categories. But for this one, we think of my sister, Pat, who's also one of the most amazing entrepreneurs I've ever seen.
Incredibly successful.
Successful.
Very giving woman.
Oh, incredible. And she is a role model, but she's always there when we need her with that little bit of extra support, which is putting her in the supporter category.
Right.
But she keeps us believing.
Right.
She's like a Journey song, all constant, all 24 hours and 7 days a week.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you think back to when we first started our podcast, and there were 2 people who listened, and your sister Pat was one of them, encouraging us from day one. And that encouragement really helps you go ahead and keep forging through.
Exactly right.
When for a while there's only 2 people listening to your podcast. The 6th type of person that you need in your network, boundary keepers. So what does this mean? People who help you keep your balance, work-life balance.
Boy, those are 2 tough words, aren't they? So like what we're talking about is people who maybe they hold you accountable for activities that improve your physical health, such as sports, maybe your mental
exercise.
Engage with you mentally, like through hobbies or educational classes. Maybe it's spiritual well-being, music, religion, art, even volunteer work. They're kind of prodding you to kind of keep pushing to have a more balanced or a better blend in life. And when we think of this, once again, there are many, but we think of our friends Dennis and Donda Beard. Dennis is my colleague, teaches the same class I do at the U of I. One of the most people I admire most in the world, and Donda is just amazing.
Recently retired, worked for the public radio station here with the University of Illinois. But the 2 of them, whenever we get together with them, first of all, time flies.
Yes.
But it's important to us because just the conversations that we have, we can talk about our faith together. They have an amazing vacation home, so we talk about life and things outside of work, and it's just so wonderful when we get to spend time together.
Absolutely.
And it makes us think about things outside of work, because the 2 of us, George and I, can oftentimes just spend so much time engulfed in our work and our mission here with Big Success, and sometimes we forget about the life part. And so it's nice to have friends that help kind of pull you in to remember that, there's more to life than just work. All right. And so in addition to the 6 types of people that we've just gone through here in this list, in their book, Cross and Thomas add that the best kind of connections are energizers.
Yeah, these are positive, trustworthy individuals who enjoy other people, and they're always seeing opportunities even in the face of challenging situations. In other words, they keep the motion and the movement and the energy focused on how do we get to our next level? How do I get to what's next? And that flows through all 6 areas that we've talked about today. I think that's kind of fascinating and a great way to kind of start wrapping things up.
Right. So our review of the 6 types of people you need in your network. You need collaborators who provide information, ideas, or expertise. You need influencers who can mentor you and connect you with the right people, responders who give feedback, supporters who give you that personal support that's so necessary, believers who help increase your sense of purpose, and boundary keepers who promote work-life balance.
What do you do if your network doesn't look like this? What if you don't have this level of diversification?
Right, this small, diverse group of people.
The authors say that you can follow a 4-step process to improve it. Number 1, identify who your connections are and what they offer you.
Number 2, back away from redundant and energy-draining connections.
Number 3, fill holes in your network with the right kind of people.
And number 4, work to make the most of your contacts.
Build a strong strategic network so that who you know helps to elevate what you know. That leads to big success.
Want to connect more deeply with people in your network? Take our free life purpose quiz. You'll find it at Big Success. That's big with 2 G's, success.com.
And we thank you so much for listening today. We feel blessed. And a special shout out to our listeners in New Delhi, India.
We're all over the world. How cool is that? Join us next time. We're going to share a tool that helps with achievement in every area of your life. Wow. It's a Swiss knife of tools for your life. Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Find Big Success at biggsuccess.com.